So I have with me Duncan Boyle, who obviously has been assisting with the live draft of the Hunlock Series, but his main function for the whole season has been the manager of a team that has risen from the flames, Phoenix-like, the Hearts Eagles. Duncan, tell us the reasoning behind why the Eagles came back, because they're not in the AAA like they used to be.
Well, I only joined the club last season, and we only had 3 teams then. And this season we extended that to 4 teams. Obviously we had new players. I mean, I was one of them who joined last season. I think with just the amount of new players we were going to have, we decided to form a new team.
Indeed, and the initial planning, I believe, was that you were going to be single A, and you have been obviously, and the thinking was that you were going to be a testing ground for new talent and a place for perhaps some players that needed some more game time to get that. But you had different ideas, didn't you? And you've caused some upsets this season. Tell us how that went.
Well, I'm always been very competitive. It's in my nature to be competitive, and also I think it's with most of the guys who were in the team who all been competitive as well. And I think a few of the guys were a little bit upset that they hadn't been picked in the Raptors or the Hawks. A few of them had a point to prove, but they played hard. And the new guys who come into the team as well all wanted to show that they could do it, and it's been a really good mix of with players really.
You'll probably tell me whether or not which is the case, but I can't entirely remember whether there was no games between the Raptors and the Eagles, or one game in the final standings as to who finished ahead. It might have been in head-to-head games, but ultimately the Eagles certainly gave the Raptors a run for their money. And although the scoreline in the one regular season game between them was not that close, the actual gameplay really was, and I can say that because I was there. You must be tremendously proud of how they performed this year.
Yeah, I'm really proud. If I'm honest, I thought we would struggle to get a team out by the end of the season. We didn't have a big roster to start off with. I only knew about 5 or 6 players. But as the season's gone on, we've had inquiries, from 2 or 3 players most weeks, and a lot of them have come and joined. We've got some great young players who come into the roster. They've never played the game before; they've just watched it on TV, but they're eager to learn, and that's what's great about the team. We are a development team, and anyone can come in and play for us, and we'll try our hardest to improve them as a baseball player.
You've kind of taken over the spiritual torch for myself in that respect, in that I was managing the Raptors when they were the bottom team for Hearts Baseball Club, and the proving ground and the training ground, and it's not an easy job. Tell us about some of the lows and some of the highs as well.
It's not an easy job. We're always up against it, because even at single A, we're playing against teams who have got players who've been playing the game for years, really. That's the hardest part, and it can get a little bit frustrating. Obviously, with the amount of errors that we make, sometimes we have made a lot of errors. But unfortunately, the best way to learn is from making mistakes, and it's all part and parcel of players' development, especially with young players. So we always have to bear that in mind. But we are a development team. There isn't pressure on us to an extent. However, we do want to perform well when we can, and that's what I've always asked my players to do, is just to give 100%, just to do their best. If we do the best, I won't have a go at them, and I think most of the guys have responded to that.
Well, I've got to say, from an outside point of view, that you've certainly done yourselves, each other, and the whole club proud in that respect. I think the Eagles' success this year has been a welcome surprise. I don't think that's That's out of order to say that. You're from a cricketing background, I believe. Is that correct? How did you come into the game?
Yeah, I used to play cricket. I started playing cricket when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I played it for the best part of 20 years. Played a fairly decent level of amateur stroke semi-professional cricket, and I just got bored of the game really. I got a little bit tired of the sledging as well, which is coming into the game more and more. And so I just fancied the change, and I moved to the area a couple of years ago. I was watching the baseball on TV one night, and I just thought I'll do a search on the internet and see if there's any baseball clubs in the country. I didn't think there were, and to my amazement, there was a club like 10 minutes down the road. So I came down, got involved, and I've loved it ever since.
And on the note of, as you were saying, being tremendously proud of all your players, and having come from a non-playing background yourself, without giving too much away, because obviously we have the award series coming up for each of the teams, but give us an insight. Who is your MVP for the season? Because that's obviously decided by the players in a vote, but who would your pick be for that? And also, who's your most improved player?
I think the MVP, and I think it's probably going to be a unanimous decision for the Eagles, will probably be Theo Sheepers, who has been very consistent. He's played really well this season in the league for us, and he's a player of experience who, again, he's given me a lot of support this season. He gives nothing less than 110% each game, and he's got a lot of experience to pass on to the younger guys. So I think Theo will probably get our MVP. As for the young player or the most improved player, it's very hard to call. There's several players who are in a shout with it. I mean, you've got, if you were to go for rookies, you could include Adrian Smithers in that, even though he is I won't say how old he is, but he's not a youngster anymore. But he hit our only home run of the season, I think, in his third or fourth game, and he brings so much enthusiasm and commitment to the team. We've got other youngsters who've come in on the first season, like Joseph Osborne-Braid, who's a great athletic player. He's
as I found out to my dismay.
No, he started off as an outfielder. He's now moved into first base, and he's a great lead-off man. He's a really tough player. Again, he gives nothing less than 100%. We've also got guys like Simon Roberts, Michael Creswell, Sony Lama, Tom Kozak. I mean, there's a few other guys I haven't mentioned, but there's so much potential in the team. I'm already looking forward to next season.
Indeed, and I think you should. Duncan, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Kim.